Hi, my name's Yvonne and I'm an independent UK Stampin' Up demonstrator, and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to show you a swap that I made when I went on my recent craft retreat with the Pootlers. So this all was inspired by a box that I found. It was actually in a hotel to hold toothbrush holders. Now this is an old one that I mocked up. So basically you've got the box, you've got a couple of slits, and then you pop that in there. Oops. And then it should all stay together. So that was the original design, but I've adapted my box to use some different things, so you can actually use it as a pen holder, a glue holder and everything. So to start off with, you will need a piece of cardstock which is 7.5 inches by 11.5 inches. So this is a piece of cardstock. Now I've got a lot of measurements on there and lots of crossings out. So the first thing you need to do is on the 11.5 inch side, score at 2 3/4, 5.5, 8 1/4 and 11. Then you will turn it round and then you will score on the 4 inch mark and the 6 3/4 inch. Okay, so I'll just put it this way for a moment. So these bits here are what you're going to be cutting away. Before you put it back into your score board, and you want to do a score at the 2 inch mark just to this second score line, and then a 6 1/4 inch mark to the second score line. So what we're making is some flaps. So we've got a flap here and a flap here. So if I just turn it round, you can see where the flaps are. So I'll do the cutting out for that. And also you will need to mark some boxes, and this is where you're going to score and cut, but we'll do that separately. Right. So this is my cardstock I've done, and I'm going to do the cutting first. So I'm going to cut up this part here and along there. So that takes, oh, not quite cut that there. So that takes that part out. So on my diagram, that's that bit there. Okay. Then we're going to cut along this part here. So right along, I think it's like 1, 2, up to the 3rd. Well, go to the 4th score mark, so you're cutting right across. And then you're going to cut up the 1, 2, the 3rd score line. Now I'm just going to make sure I've cut across there all the way. So we've taken this part out and this part out to start off with. I'm just going to fold these, because these are your score lines. So this is basically the base of the box. And now I'm going to angle cut that one and angle cut that one. So it takes out the bulk. And again, I'm going to angle cut that and angle cut that. doesn't matter about your angles as long as it looks okay. So that is the basic box shape. Right, we will start on the little measurements here. You've got a tab there, and you will need to angle colour that to start off with. So just do an angle there and an angle there. So it looks like that. Right. Now fold that over the time being, and then you're going to take a ruler and you're going to measure 1 inch from the bottom and make a mark, and then it's going to be from that inch mark you're going to do a further 3/4 of an inch and make another mark. Now if you've got a T ruler, this is great, because all you'll need to do is you'll line up where you've marked and just do a line. It doesn't matter how far you do it, because you're only going to go 1 1.25 in. So you do a mark where you've marked, you'll draw a line, and then you also will carry that line into not the second box, the third box. So I'll show it on here. So this is the bit that I've just folded over. Just fold it over for you. So that's 1 inch up, mark, another 3/4 of an inch, and mark. Then you'll bring where your marks are, you'll bring another mark into this third box just there, and follow your same marks that you've got, and then you'll just measure 1 1.25 inch, put another mark, and then just make this little box, and do the same on this one. So again, I've done it here, so I've measured the 1.25 inch to make this rectangle. Then from the second panel, do exactly the same, but this time it's 3/4 of an inch from the top. So you do 3/4 of an inch and make a mark. Then the gap is 3/4 of an inch and make another mark, and then you'll use those marks to do another rectangle on the 4th panel. So you'll do it from here and then go to your 4th panel and make your rectangle there. It's just a little bit fiddly with the measurements, but once you get it, it'll work out fine. It's just if you just do measure once on one of these sides and then use the same measurements on this side and the same here, and that's what you'll get. So you'll have a box there, a box there, a box there, a box there. I'll pop it on that one. So you've got one there, one there, one there, and one there. Right. So now with those boxes, you need to, let's do the folds. So fold your card over. And then we do need to stick that down. Now I would suggest using possibly double-sided sticky tape rather than glue, but I can't find my double-sided sticky tape. It's somewhere, so I'll just use glue. I'm just going to glue that together. Then I'll take this box here, and I'm going to use my scoring board. Apologies for making a noise. And where's my scoring board tool? Oh, it's on there. Right. So this box here, I'm just going to put it on my scoring board and pick up one of the, just put it in one of the grooves basically. So I've actually got it, oops, I've lined it up at the 8-inch mark. And all I'm going to do is where I've drawn my pencil marks, I'm just going to score it. And then score the other side and turn it round, and I'm going to score down. Now I've got a line on my scoreboard on the 6-inch mark, and that's just so I can see if I've got something that I'm trying to score, then I can line it up roughly. So I'm just going to make those just score them. As I say, it doesn't matter on the board where you score them, but it just helps with the cutting. So I'm going to fold it again, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing there. Now you might have to play about with it, but you just need to score. And this will just help with the cutting. And just go into the next one. Because I'm going through 2 lots of card as well, then I really need to make sure it scores properly. Done that one. Just need to do this one now. And so you might have to manipulate your card into the correct position to get into your score lines, but you'll be able to do it. This one's here a little bit awkward. Right, so I think I've done all my scoring. So the next part is cutting. So all you're doing is cutting up the score line like so. Turning it over and then cutting up score line. Turning it over and cutting up the score line. It just makes it easier, or helps you to see the actual score lines when you're cutting, that's all, rather than just using your trimmer. But if you want to use your trimmer instead, you can do, but I find it easier doing this. Right, so now here is the box. So we've got these tabs. Now when I originally did my boxes, I didn't actually put them together or stick them together because I needed to transport them. So I just transported them flat. So you can glue this part in, the bottom part. What I will suggest is to make it a little bit stronger, the cardboard that we get out of the paper packs, if you cut a piece of card 2 and 1/4 inch by 2 1/4 inch square and just stick it at the bottom. That will help it be a bit more stable. So I'm just going to pop those flaps, pop those flaps in there. And then all you need to do is push all these bits that you've cut. Let me push all the bits you've cut inwards. And because you've done your scores, then they should fold in quite easy and quite flat. So just press them down. There is one that might not be quite, it might be a little bit more difficult because there's a seal or there's a join. So just press them down. And I'm going to pop that in there. Pop that in there. Just put that the inside of there. And there you go. So we've got some little compartments and you can put your Tombow in there, and a pair of scissors and some pens, whatever you want to put in there. As I say, because this isn't stuck down and I haven't got the extra piece of card, then you've just got to be careful it won't topple over. But if you've got any paper clips or anything like that, you can put them on the outside. So yeah, it's just a nice little pen holder. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video and I've not got too complicated with the measurements. All you've got to remember is the top parts, that's 3/4 inch. This part is 3/4 inch width, and the depth is 1.25 inches. And then from the bottom, it's 1 inch up, then it's 3/4 inch, and again the depth is 1 1/4 inches. Right, I will leave it for that. So that is my box, and what I did on my original ones, I actually stamped on them, but I just wanted to show you without the stamping, and you can decorate it however you want. I didn't want to put any DSP paper on because with all the folds and things, but as I say, you can lay it flat and then stamp wherever you want to, or stamp on it first and then do your cutting and scoring and everything. Right, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.